Hey, welcome to your Cancer horoscopes for the week of Christmas. Starting Christmas Eve, ending on the 30th. This is the last full week of December. It's the last full week of 2023. Next time we're talking, we'll be eyeballing 2024 there on kind of the last day of the year. We also have Mercury's retrograde has officially moved into Sagittarius, and it is going to, unfortunately, directly affect you as the Christmas full moon is upon us. We have a Christmas full moon, which means the moon is in Cancer, as the sun is 4 degrees in Capricorn at this particular point. So, and actually, it's not even just a full moon, it's a major challenge as the moon comes into your sign late on Christmas Day. And that challenge just keeps going into the next day, I'm afraid, as the moon moves into opposition with the sun, Mercury, and Mars, and in a square with Neptune, which makes it a T square. It is actually a fairly big challenge. Focus for the moon, focus for Cancer is really focused on the home, although there is an element of how you um how you think in the mix, or whether or not you're emotionally thinking or overthinking, or just not thinking enough. Sometimes that's a thing too, that a lot of us do, that is not necessarily talked about, but maybe it should be. And we have Mars, Mercury, and the sun all focused on long-term goals, although the sun's focus really is on long-term career goals specifically. And then we have Neptune's focus, which is on inner self, inner trauma, and really digging up this so-called inner trauma stuff that we have. And we all have, different levels of it. So basically, this is a very emotional challenge because the moon is heading the whole thing. And Cancer is kind of an emotional sign. So it's sort of spearheading that, looking at things and thinking about them on an emotional level. Now, two things. One, Neptune bringing up inner trauma is the same thing as coming up with excuses as to why something is not going to work out now because something didn't work out in the past. And we have a whole bags and bags and bags of those experiences. Like, I actually can look back on my life at hundreds of experiences that were embarrassing, right? In terms of separating myself from the herd and being the leader, and it didn't really quite work out. And so I wound up being in a situation where I was embarrassed. Like, for instance, this is kind of silly, but it is what it is. When I was a kid living in California, we had earthquake drills. We have earthquake drills all the time. And so all of a sudden, we would be, a typical normal day would be they would do roll call. And as soon as they called your name, you could just run over to the carpet because it's where we were going to have story time. And I used to see kids do it all the time. As soon as the name was called, boom, they were on the carpet. And so I decided one day that I was going to be that first kid that's going to get on the carpet. And I ran and I got on the carpet and I was the only one there. And then the teacher goes, "Okay, we're having an earthquake drill. Everybody duck and cover." And so here I am sitting on the carpet, not underneath my desk like everybody else. All the kids are under their desk looking at me. And she's like, "It doesn't matter if you're on the carpet, you have to, do the whole put your head down thing." I was singled out. And the kids all thought that was really funny, and it just, there was so many of those instances like that where it would seem to work out for everybody else, but whenever I did it, it just went weird and wonky, and what have you. And those things really, really stick very, very, very deep inside of us, like, and so when you're planning something and you've got goals and that thing keeps coming up, it keeps reminding you that you might actually look silly and people are going to laugh at you, blah, blah, blah. if you do it and it doesn't come out as cool as you would like it to. I think cancers specifically suffer from this so much. I am a cancer kid, and that fear of it not turning out right just is so strong for him that he'll do a lot of things, but not necessarily in a way that anybody can see them, so that he doesn't have to get that criticism, if that makes sense. But the criticism, believe it or not, is necessary, because we want to know what we're doing wrong so that we can fix it and make sure that we're not continuing to do it wrong later on. It's one thing to make a mistake. It's quite another thing to keep that mistake going for all eternity, right? So I feel like this challenge really is, yes, those memories are going to come up, but it's continuing with your plan despite those memories, accepting the fact that you might look silly, honestly. It sometimes it happens, or it might not work out the way that you wanted it to. And let me just say this, I just learned recently, a lot of people may know this already, but I just learned recently that Harrison Ford was kicked out of two different movie studios. Everybody said he was not a good actor and nobody was going to want to work with him. And he was fired from the two big movie production studios. And the only reason that he became the Harrison Ford that we all know and love is because he decided to walk away from Hollywood, become a carpenter, and he wound up doing some carpentry work on George Lucas's house. And that's how he landed his first role in American Graffiti. So think about it. Think about that. Put that into perspective. If there was no Harrison Ford, all of the characters that he created that have been icons my entire life may not have happened. But because he just kept on going, they did happen. Think about it that way. This could be your Harrison Ford moment. You never know. That's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider clicking the link below in the description and sending a tip or donation to my coffee link. We'd really appreciate that. I do enjoy getting all the coffees, and I am fueled by it. Also, in that link for one more week in the description, there is a link to my 25% off for an hour-long reading. You get one more week to get that 25% off. So the promo code is in the description with the link. Make a note of the promo code, click the link, fill out all of the details, when you want to, all that stuff, put your promo code in, boom, you get your 25% off. Easy peasy, can't make it any easier than that. I'm Melissa Bruce, Heavy Metal Psychic. Thank you so much for watching. And you guys, time to kick some ass. Stop being so quiet and be who you are meant to be, because you know that who you're meant to be is awesome. I will see you guys next week. You guys make it a great week.